the 2nd, 2015, 2 p.m. in Council Chambers. I'd like to call the meeting to order and the adoption of the minutes of the Committee of the Whole, minutes on January the 19th, 2015, and the regular open minutes of January the 19th, 2015, and those will be adopted by consensus. Business arising from the minutes, there's nothing. Introduction of late items, and there are 2 late items. One is a motion from the in-camera meeting of February the 2nd, 2015, which will be brought forward, and that will be put under Business 4. And the other is Child and Youth Committee meeting minutes, which will be under committee reports, and it will be added to the September the 10th. Those 2 will be done together. Okay, so we need a motion to that the agenda be adopted as amended. Thank you. That would be King and Youngberg. All in favor? Thank you. Any delegations? No. Water matters? None. Correspondence? None. So we're on to bylaws. And the first and only bylaw today is the Revenue Anticipation Borrowing Bylaw, number 1308, 2015. And is Mr. Romenko, are you going to speak to that?
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. This is our Revenue Anticipation Borrowing Bylaw, number 1305, 2015. Council, this bylaw is to renew the line of credit with the Bank of Montreal. This bylaw received first 3 readings at the January 19th meeting of Council. Section 177 of the Community Charter allows the municipality by bylaw to establish a bylaw to provide for the borrowing of money in anticipation of revenue. This bylaw recognizes the municipality, authorizes the municipality to borrow up to $1.5 million to meet current expenditures and payment amounts to meet the municipality's taxing obligations. This line of credit is set up at the Bank of Montreal. If the operating line of credit is used, the revenue from the property taxes must be used to repay the amount the money borrowed. In 2014, the town of Soyuz did not go to their line of credit. In terms of implication, community allows for operations to continue until funding comes in from taxation. No organizational impacts, no budget impacts. The new bylaw is to be adopted by February 2015, and the options are basically one provided, and that's to adopt the Revenue Anticipation Bylaw 1308, 2015.
Thank you. Could we have a motion to adopt this bylaw, please? Campbell and Rhodes, all in favor? Thank you. The first 3 readings were given at January the 19th, so this is just the formal adoption of the bylaw, which has to be done at a different meeting. Okay, next is business, and the first item on the business part of the agenda is expenses for Councillor King. Could I have someone it was to attend the elected officials in Kelowna, and Councillor King has just got his in early. The rest of us have them as well, but they haven't been put on the agenda yet. So, Councillor Youngberg, would you move the adoption of that? Councillor Campbell, all in favor? Thank you. This is a per diem rate that when council goes to out-of-town meetings, it's $100 a day. Thank you. Next is the PENMAC airport use, and Mr. Romenko.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Council approved a use agreement with the Penticton Model Aviation Club, PENMAC, for 1-year terms in both 2013 and 2014 in order for PENMAC to use the airport to fly model aircrafts. There have been no issues in the past with the use of the airport by PENMAC for this purpose. They are requesting an agreement for use for another year ending December 31st, 2015. Insurance is provided through the Model Aeronautics Association of Canada in the amount of $2 million. There's no fee being charged to this group as there is no direct expenses to the town. In terms of implications, the club provides a recreational opportunity for local people and brings other people to town to participate in the activities. There's no staff time, no budget impacts, no significant dates have been identified. And the options that have been identified is Council approve the agreement with PENMAC for the use of the Osoyoos Airport for the term of January 1st to December 31st, 2015. 2, that staff make changes to the agreement and return to Council for further review. And 3, that Council not approve the agreement with PENMAC for the use of the Osoyoos Airport, and staff recommends option number 1.
Thank you. Do we have any idea how many days were used by this aviation club in 2014? They have to check with us first, though, to make sure there's nothing else.
The nature of their activity is that their members just show up and use the airstrip, and if a plane does happen to want to land, they just move off. It's not. There's no user conflict really in terms of their use.
And they've been doing this for some time, haven't they?
For 2 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Do we have a motion? Yes, thank you. Councillor Rhodes, are you? Go ahead. Are you? What's your?
Well, thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to make a quick comment about it.
Oh, sure.
Once we get a second here.
Okay. So, move that we accept option number 1, and Councillor Youngberg would be seconded. So, Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McAuliffe. I just wanted to mention that the name on this organization is a little misleading in the fact that many of these members are local residents that use it here. I know it says the Penticton name in their name of their group, but there are people from Penticton to use it, but there is a local component to it.
Good.
If I just clarify that, it is local members, but they're part of the Penticton Club, and they use the insurance benefits of the Penticton Club, and that's why they, rather than set up a separate club, they just continue to fly here.
Thank you. All in favor of the motion? That's accepted. Thank you. That was unanimous. And number 3 is the pre-budget approval of the sewer lift station reconstruction, and that would be Mr. Manko.
Yes, the subject matter is the pre-budget approval of the sewer lift station reconstruction at $3.44 million. In terms of background, Canada and British Columbia governments are investing up to $218 million under the New Building Canada Fund, Small Communities Fund, program to support infrastructure projects in the communities with populations of less than 100,000. The federal and provincial governments will each contribute up to $109 million of the total program funds. Applications for funding will be evaluated on the extent to which the project meets the following program objectives. First, economic growth. Second, a clean environment. And third, building stronger communities. It's expected that there will be more projects that qualify for funding than there are program funds available. Consequently, eligible projects will be ranked according to the extent that they meet the program's objectives and the eligibility criteria. Attached, please find an information sheet that provides greater detail on the program. The deadline for the first Small Communities Fund program intake is February 18th, 2015, not 14, as my report says. Overview. Attached, please find the main lift station design brief that has been prepared by True Consulting. Will act as the main technical support document to the project and the grant application. The design brief provides for an analysis of 3 options. These options were provided to illustrate to potential funding sources that an intense analysis of options has occurred. In addition to this information, additional letters of support will be sought from the other users of our sewer system. These benefactors include the Osoyoos Indian Band, the Canadian Border Station, the U.S. Border Station, the Regional District, and the provincial government with Haynes Point, and also absent from the list here is the developers at Willow Beach and also at Reflection Point. Applicants must demonstrate that their share of the funding has been or is being secured. Further, they must demonstrate, where applicable, that these funds have been committed to operate, maintain, and plan for replacement of the capital asset resulting from the project during its life cycle. The evidence necessary to demonstrate these commitments may include, first, a board or a council resolution or bylaw committing the proponent to contribute its share of the fund eligible project costs and all the ineligible costs. That should be eligible costs. The resolution must identify the source of the proponent's source of the project costs. A council resolution committing to complete an alternative approval process and bylaw to authorize the borrowing of funds, or a resolution committing to commit to a referendum to borrow the necessary funds. The alternative approval process and bylaw or referendum must be completed within 6 months of receiving the Small Communities Grant approval of project, unless an extension has been approved by the program director. Given the importance of this project to the community and the funding limits that are available, previous discussion by council recommended that this project be submitted to the Small Communities Project Funding Program and the Federal Gas Tax Strategic Priorities Fund. In terms of implications, community, the lift station is the heart of the town's sewer system and handles 95% of waste effluent that is handled in our lagoons. The community needs to ensure that this asset is secure from failure due to asset depreciation. Failure of this part of the system would result in sewer flows into Suez Lake. Organizationally, project will be handled by Public Works and True Consulting. The budget, the overall estimated budget estimate is $3.44 million. The grant application needs to be in the amount of $2.293333 million, and sewer operating reserves will provide the remaining needed amount of $1,046,667. If grant funding is not received, the only other source of funding will be borrowing, which will require the borrowing bylaw actions of the alternative approval process or referendum. Significant dates: February 18th is the deadline for the Small Communities Grant Program, and April 15th is the deadline for the Federal Gas Tax Strategic Priorities Fund. The options being presented to Council today are: 1. Direct administration to make application for the construction of a new sewer lift station to only the New Building Canada Fund, Small Communities Grant Fund, or the Federal Gas Tax Strategic Priorities Fund. 2. Direct administration to make application for construction of a new sewer lift station to both the New Building Canada Fund, Small Communities Fund, and the Federal Gas Tax Strategic Priorities Fund. 3. Direct administration to make application for construction of a new sewer lift station to only the Federal Gas Tax Strategic Priorities Fund, and provide direction to another project that will meet the New Building Canada Fund, Small Communities Fund criteria. Administration recommends option 2 and proposes that Council passes the following 2 motions. The first motion we are providing is Council directs the administration to make application to the Building Canada Fund, Small Communities Fund, prior to the program application date of February 18th, 2015, to enable the sewer main lift upgrading project, and furthermore that the grant amount request be $2,293,333, and that $1,046,667 be allocated from sewer operating and reserve funds for a total project cost of $3,440,000. The second motion is Council directs the administration to make application to the Federal Gas Tax Strategic Priorities Fund prior to the program application date of April 15th to enable the sewer main lift upgrading project in 2015. And furthermore, that the grant amount requested be $2.293,333, and that $1,046,667 be allocated from the sewer operating reserve funds for a total project cost of $3.44 million.
Thank you. Sounds like an awful lot of money. The reason that we're discussing this now at this meeting is that, as you can see from this report, that the Building Canada Fund Small Communities, the program application deadline is February the 18th, so it needs to be done now. And the other one, the federal gas tax, is April the 15th. So we need to have both of those sort of in the works right now. That is next week. Council will be spending with staff 2 days going over the budget process, but it needs to be done at this point. So, Council, any comments, any recommendations? Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. I'll make a motion based on the exact wording in the 2 paragraphs towards the end of the report.
Thank you. Is there a seconder for that? Councillor King. And anybody would like to speak to that? Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you again. Only to mention that the dollar value of this project is a lot of money. Council was able to scrutinize this quite a bit during our business planning meeting a couple of weeks ago, and I know Mayor McCordoff did mention that, but it was a very thorough review. It's something that we need desperately in our community right now, and we're all hoping that we get it, because we may have to move forward with this project anyway, even if the grant money is not forthcoming. And typically we do not combine single projects together for 2 grant pools, but in this particular case we felt that we had a really good shot at getting the grant money from both of them, and consequently that's why we're doing it this way. It is kind of a unique thing, but we're fairly confident that we're going to be staged to get this grant. So,
thank you. There is a very involved report that follows this, and it's from True Consulting, and it gives the background on this, the reasons for it, and I'm sure it's available online to anybody
Yes.
who wanted to read it. There are 3 options. My assumption is that the 3 options that will be decided at some later date. They're fairly similar in costs. Is that correct?
Well, the recommendation is actually the 3rd option, which is slightly different because it actually speaks to two separate lift stations, as opposed to the other option. The other 2 options are basically have bigger pumps on and develop 1 lift station. So the sense was that it would be more environmentally friendly and cheaper operationally to operate a system that has smaller pumps, and you use them for less months of time.
Okay. Anybody else have anything to ask about? Okay, all in favor of the motion? That was carried unanimously. Thank you very much. That was a lot of work went into that. We will definitely be discussing these kinds of things at length next week, and we hope somebody wins the lottery.
And donates it to the town.
And donates it, absolutely. 649. Okay, thank you.
much appreciated.
I thought it was also interesting to notice on that while True Consulting has done the plans, the Public Works Department would be able to handle managing this. Is that what it said? It would be.
Well, they'll be involved. They were involved in the actual design discussions and what's needed. What we do is True as our engineering company. They'll put it to tender. They'll review the documents that come in, and then they'll project manage it. But again, it's still something that our Public Works Department is quite involved in.
Good, thank you. The next business item number 4 was a motion, and it came from our in-camera meeting of this morning. should I read this, Mr. Romanko? Okay. So a motion from the in-camera meeting of February the 2nd, 2015, moved by Councillor Rhodes and seconded by Councillor Campo, and resolved to bring out of in-camera at the February 2nd, 2015 regular meeting that discussions have occurred with Matthews Enterprises Incorporated, MEI, to enable the future purchase and development of airport lands in the event of repurposing to industrial use. And that was carried at our meeting this morning. Okay, and there are no notice of motion. Reports. This is a general net roll and Sun Bowl Arena financial accounts. And the background is to, Mr. Romanko, are you doing this or am I? Has your name at the top?
Yes, but we basically, these are general cash requirements. Sure. And to pay our bills for both our general operations and over at the Sun Bowl and our payroll accounts. So.
Okay, so the general cash requirements for the payroll accounts to February the 2nd, $276,120.09, and the Sun Bowl cash requirements of $12,299.16. And we have net payroll accounts of $64,208.85. And the net payroll funds are approved as printed, and I need a motion to approve the general cash and the Sun Bowl cash requirements. Thank you. Campbell, King, all in favor? Thank you very much. That's passed. And the next is the child. This is a committee report, and in front of you, you see a committee report from the Child and Youth Committee meeting Wednesday, September the 10th, 2014, and that was held in Oliver. And we need that's received for information. And Councillor Youngberg was at an updated meeting because she's now the person on the committee, and she has reports from the Wednesday, January the 28th meeting at the Sonora Center Child and Youth Committee. Would you like to talk about this, Councillor Youngberg?
Yeah, I would. Thank you, Mayor McCordock. The Wednesday was the meeting, and it was attended by Ron Habanas, the Mayor of Oliver, and the art programs, the Ministry of Child and Family Development. There was our Town of Osoyoos representative, Sarah, Okanagan Boys and Girls Club, Osoyoos Public Health, United Way, and myself. And it really is a wonderful gathering of organizations and their leaders within the South Okanagan. We discussed many great ongoing projects that are happening in the South Okanagan. And of course, it's a facility where they can discuss their concerns and ways that we can become stronger in the area with the concerns and try to help out in any way that we can as a consolidated group. We become a little more unified, and of course it was interesting because at the same time the following day I met with the Osoyoos Child Care Center, who have some concerns. And so from the Child and Family Youth Committee, that I think we came away with some real good ideas, and United Way would like to meet with the Town of Osoyoos and find out what objectives we have on our agenda, where some funding might be applicable from their organization. So basically we ended the meeting with a very positive note, and I think that everybody shared their views and was very interesting. And the September 10th minutes were very valuable because I had a few items to discuss with them from those minutes. So I would just like council to accept the minutes from the Child and Youth Committee as
presented.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Those are accepted by consensus. And the Councillor Youngberg will be attending these meetings. I think it's 4 times a year. Or is it 3?
It's 4 times.
4 times a
Our
year.
next meeting is in May, I believe.
Good. Thank you very much for attending that and representing us. Next on our agenda is the CAO report. Mr. Romanko.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Just a few of the activities that the administration has been involved in over the last couple of weeks. Starting in corporate services, we've been busy doing some human resources work, filling positions in planning and development services and community services based on the one vacant position and one being on a bumping based on a medical leave. Airport insurance is being reviewed right now. Also some preliminary work on tabletop exercise for emergency management, which has been tentatively set for March 20th. Also working with the Municipal Insurance Association to enabling us to host a regional risk management seminar in March, and other municipalities will be invited to come to Soyuz and listen to resources from the Municipal Insurance Association. Finance has been very busy doing budget and altering budgets and all that based on various types of meetings we've been having internally, and requests of and changing requests of all the directors. So it's been and now there's, I guess your packages will be loaded for you for discussion for next week. Also busy responding to a Freedom of Information request for financial information on monthly operating payments. Planning and development, just a reminder for our committee members that there'll be a meeting scheduled with the architect on the fire hall on February 13th. So that process continues to move along. Also working on Phase B of the Gyro Park, hoping to bring it forward. Hopefully we'll have a report coming to council with a strategy to move Phase B ahead in a quicker fashion, and that report hopefully will be at the next council meeting. Public Works has been trimming trees on the boulevards and spaces that impact public space, doing budget and planning for summer. Myself, all the directors attended a very informative session in Kelowna on showing accountability and results, and there's a lot of information sharing by a number of municipalities that attended this very well run event. All directors have been involved in budget. Myself, I attended the Regional Municipal Employers meeting, and then following up on our strategic planning session, getting all the paperwork resolved from that. Continue to work on the airport repurposing with application to remove the covenant to the provincial government, and also seeking support for the grant application for the sewer lift project. So that's my report for today.
Thank you very much. Could I have a motion, please, to accept the CAO's report? Councillor Rhodes, Councillor Youngberg. All in favor? Thank you. And now on to committee reports, and Councillor Youngberg, you're first.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. It's been a real busy 10 days for me, to say the least. The new councillor training in Kelowna, as our CAO has just indicated, was really informative and valuable. We went to meetings beginning with how to be effective in meetings and how to read budgets and how to handle the media. So we had 2 days of really packed information, which was interesting to me. Then on Friday, that was Wednesday and Thursday, and on Friday we went to the South Okanagan Chamber installation. I did anyways, and it was a really nice event, and congratulations to all the nominees and the winners. The Chamber continues to be a real strong and stable organization, and I think awards and nominations like this are real critical for our local businesses. It really creates somewhat of an incentive, and also appreciate the fact that we do have 2 new directors from Osoyoos on their board. On Saturday, I attended the great fundraiser for an area of interest to me, which is the Desert Sun Counseling Center. That fundraiser was fabulous. The decorations, of course, were a gal's dream. It's all to do with Diamonds Are Forever. So it was well attended, and the attendees were so supportive. All the funds raised enable the organization to support many of our residents in Osoyoos. And they just continue doing great work in the area. Also, I met with the Osoyoos Child Care Center, and I'm just appealing to the public, if anyone is early retired and they have some energy with occupations like teaching and nursing and in the accounting world. This group of real dedicated individuals would love to have your help, and you possibly become a member of their board of directors, because they're looking outside of the parental group, and I think that's a real positive for their organization. And last but not least, I was totally being inundated with emails and conversations from supporters of Desert Park. It's coming alive again this winter, and the barns are filling up, and I'd really encourage anybody in the community, if they'd like to have a look at what's going on. There's 110 thoroughbred horses in training, and they all race in Western Canada. And I've understood that it's quite a motivation to get up to the track in the morning and see them working out at 6 and 7 o'clock if you have a coffee and don't have anything else to do. It's very positive, and it's a very strong economic benefit to our community for the winter months. There's over, I think, total about 40 to 50 people up there that use our motels, our restaurants, and please open your arms to them, because they are spending a lot of money in the community with the owners of the horses who are in Western Canada. So thank you very much, and that's my report.
Thank you. Councillor Campbell.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. It has been a busy couple of weeks. I won't repeat a lot of what's been said. The South Okanagan Chamber Awards dinner was very well attended, very well received, so kudos to them. I as well got a lot of the leadership training seminar in Kelowna, and I'm thankful for that. Attended the Destination Osoyoos meeting this past week. One of the main highlights I wanted to share was the creation and execution of the Snowbird Guide, which was the first of its kind for Osoyoos. Publication came out. It looks incredible. There's 80,000 copies out there through different channels in different provinces, and there's been requests from different centers in different provinces to receive more publications. So, very positive sign. If this year is an indication of some of the growth we can see in the future, it's definitely a positive thing to look toward. Anybody that is around on Thursday afternoon, Dulce Social House will be having its re-grand opening at 5 p.m. this Thursday, opening with a new concept. And sorry, back to the Destination Osoyoos meeting. One of the things that was discussed was the potential of a second year of Desert Live, and some of the concerns around lack of volunteers to execute some of the many events and things that we do here year-round. And as I discussed with Mayor McCordoff earlier today, something as far as a cause for me as a councillor, I'd like to get involved in having an impact on trying to have an impact on gaining volunteers to our community. And that's my report. Thank you.
Great project. I think, you know, we're all involved in that too, and you've got lots of volunteers right up here at this table. Councillor King.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. I guess it's really saying the same things over the last couple of weeks. I've had the opportunity to spend 3 days in Kelowna with the leadership program, learning more about the responsibilities we have here at council and learning how to make some type of decisions. Hopefully they're the right ones. Also, I had the opportunity to attend the Business Excellence Awards put on by the South Okanagan Chamber up at Spirit Ridge, and one of the big recipients is actually one of the businesses here in Osoyoos, Osoyoos Credit Union, so kudos to them. The next night again, Diamonds Are Forever, put on by the Desert Sun Counseling, was a major great event. And little coup, if you haven't seen me, I was in a tuxedo, so and with that, I had the opportunity to hear about the Cactus Jalopies coming up in June, and I believe it's going to be bigger than ever, and they are also looking for more volunteers that want to put in some input to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Rhodes.
Thank you, Mayor McCordoff. Well, I'm not able to repeat what happened with the previous reports. I did not attend that. But yeah, they're excellent courses, and I'm glad everybody was able to go and get some knowledge out of it. Just wanted to bring up our Committee of the Whole meeting this morning. We had a delegation, an individual, Paul Dumouriez, who among other things in our community is the Oliver Airport manager. And he took us through a historical current and future information center session that was very comprehensive and very knowledgeable. And the reason why he was here is in our quest to get as much knowledge as we can about regional airports, and certainly they're close to us, and the proximity was very apparent to us, and how we could somehow partner or move forward with that airport. So the information was really good, particularly the historical stuff. I had no idea that airport was commissioned in 1935, long time ago. We even had a couple of photographs that we were able to look at this morning. So very interesting stuff, really helped us out. So I'd just like to thank Paul for coming. It was great. And somehow closely related to that was the motion that we brought forward at this public meeting that was debated this morning in our closed session, and that has to do with the light manufacturing opportunities that we have on our airport site. Our newspaper has been quite good about reporting out a lot of the information, a lot of the options, and some of the interest groups that would wish to keep that airport up there. So this is yet another factor in our quest of repurposing that area up there, or perhaps not repurposing it, depending on what happens over the next little while. And one of the things that I really value in the decision-making process is input from residents, and this is a big thing for our community. This opportunity that we have up there. Best case scenario is 100 jobs in our community. It's looking quite positive. At this point, we don't know whether it's going to end up that way, but it's certainly an opportunity, and a serious opportunity that we're being presented with right now. So I would ask personally, if people have ideas and opinions about our airport and how we're going to put this project together, please get in touch with me. All of my contact information is available through asulias.ca on our website, and certainly phone calls and emails are more than welcome by myself. And this is how we get things done, and it helps us get a sense of how our community feels about these projects. So please get in touch with me and use that website to get my contact information. So.
Thank you very much. Yes, that was a very interesting morning that we had today, and we don't choose to deal with things because they're easy. We choose to deal with them because they're difficult, as you can see. I think that was Bill Clinton said that some time back, and I thought about it. We deal with things because they're difficult. So a couple of things I wanted to mention. The RDOS, which is made up, Regional District of Okanagan-Similkameen, is made up of 6 towns, Penticton, Summerland, Oliver, Osoyoos, Keremeos, and Princeton, plus all the regional districts surrounding it. And so there is the Area A representative, who's Mark Pendergraft, and he's on that. He's the chair, and I'm also on it. And when I'm not on it, the alternate is Councillor Rhodes. So we are there at meetings, and I noticed in the paper last week that the Area A rural budget meeting, which is done by the RDOS, is happening. They'll be in Osoyoos on Wednesday night, February the 4th, at 7 o'clock at the Sonora Center. So anybody who lives in the rural area, or anybody in town that's interested in how these things interact, some of the finance people from RDOS will be here and will be presenting that budget. I should also tell you that there is, last week in the paper, there was a petition campaign about the two-tiered electrical rates, the BC Utilities Commission, and I've just read recently that the RDOS is going to do a resolution to send to SILGA, asking them to have a look at that. So that includes all of our areas. So they are looking after that, and hopefully will spark some more talk. A couple of things that are coming up. The Elks are having a dance on February the 14th. It's at the Elks Hall. It's really, I think it's sponsored by the Elks, but it's really the Fireworks Committee. And they would like to try and get people interested in donating towards the fireworks, which are on July the 1st. So Annette Starr has been sending out lots of information on Facebook and emails. So I have my ticket. Anybody who's interested can get their tickets down at Imperial Office Pro and come and support this. And we like to have support from not only local people, but from visitors that are in town on July the 1st, and who absolutely come and enjoy the fireworks, because we get them from all over. So that's a good fundraiser. The Heart and Stroke Month, that's why I'm wearing red today, because February is Heart and Stroke Month, and it certainly affects all of us. We read in the paper last week that the principal from Oliver Elementary died of a heart attack. He was very young, and it just sort of hits home. And we don't go by a week with, we're looking in the paper, you see somebody who's affected by this. So there's a very good group of local volunteers that are going to be going door to door, and I believe Mr. Lacey has an article about them and a picture in the paper this week. And if anybody would like to help with that, or volunteer, or even donate some money to the Heart Stroke Fund, I'm sure it will be very much appreciated. So wear red and think about it for this month. And the last thing is, today is Groundhog Day, and I'm not sure whether the groundhog saw his shadow or not, but I'm predicting spring is going to be early. So I would like to say thank you very much to all of you for attending. It's over short and sweet today. And could I have a resolution to adjourn the meeting? Campbell, Youngberg, all in favor? Thank you very much, everyone.